Lucas, or Luke, chapters 12 and 13. Meanwhile, when an innumerable crowd of people had gathered together so that they trampled one another, he began to say to his taught ones first, "Beware of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. And whatever is concealed shall be revealed, and whatever is hidden shall be known. So, whatever you've said in the dark shall be heard in the light, and what you have spoken in the ear in inner rooms shall be proclaimed on the housetops. But I say to you, my friends, do not be afraid of those who kill the body, and after that they're unable to do any more. But I shall show you whom you should fear. Fear the one who, after killing, possesses authority to cast into Gehenna. Yes, I say to you, fear him. Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 copper coins? And not one of them is forgotten before Elohim, but even the hairs of your head have all been numbered. Do not fear. You're worth more than many sparrows. And I say to you, everyone who confesses me before men, the son of Adam shall also confess him before the messengers of Elohim. But he that has denied me before men shall be denied before the messengers of Elohim. And everyone who shall speak a word against the son of Adam, it shall be forgiven him. But to him who has blasphemed against the set-apart Spirit, it shall not be forgiven. And when they bring you to the congregations and rulers and authorities, don't worry about how or what you should answer or what you should say. For the set-apart Spirit shall teach you in that very hour what you should say. And someone from the crowd said to him, Teacher, speak to my brother to divide the inheritance with me. But he said to him, Man, who made me a judge or a divider over you? And he said to them, Mind and be aware of greed, because one's life does not consist in the excess of his possessions. Then he spoke a parable to them, saying, The land of a certain rich man yielded well. And he was reasoning within himself, saying, What shall I do? Because I have no room to store my crops. And he said, I'm going to do this. Pull down my storehouses and build greater and store all my crops and goods there. Then say to myself, Life, you have many goods laid up for many years. Take your ease, eat, drink, rejoice. But Elohim said to him, You mindless one, this night your life shall be demanded from you, and who shall own what you have prepared? So is he who is storing up treasure for himself and is not rich towards Elohim. And he said to his taught ones, For this reason I say to you, do not worry about your life, what you should eat, nor about the body, what you should put on. Life is more than food. The body is more than clothing. Look at the ravens. They neither sow nor reap, which have neither storehouse nor granary, and Elohim feeds them. How much more valuable are you than the birds? And which of you, by worrying, is able to add 1 cubit to his lifespan? If then you're unable to do the least, why do you worry about the rest? Look at the lilies. See how they grow. They neither toil nor spin, and I say to you, even Shelomoh in all his esteem was not dressed like one of these. And if Elohim so clothes the grass which today exists in the field and tomorrow is thrown in the furnace, how much more you, O you of little belief. And do not seek what you shall eat or what you shall drink, and do not keep worrying. For the nations of the world seek all these, and your Father knows that you need these, but seek the reign of Elohim, and all these shall be added to you. Do not fear, little flock, because your Father did delight to give you the reign. Sell your possessions and give in kindness. Make yourselves purses which do not grow old, a treasure in the heavens that does not fail, where no thief does come near nor moth destroys. For where your treasure is, there your heart shall be also. Let your loins be girded and your lamps burning, and be like men waiting for their master when he shall return from the wedding, that when he comes and knocks, they open to him immediately. Blessed are those servants whom the master, when he comes, shall find watching. Truly I say to you that he shall gird himself and make them sit down and eat, and shall come and serve them. And if he comes in the second watch or in the third watch, and find them so, blessed are those servants. And know this, that if the master of the house had known what hour the thief comes, he would have watched and not allowed his house to be broken into. And you then, be ready, for the Son of Adam is coming at an hour you do not expect. And Kepha said to him, Master, do you speak this parable to us, or also to all? And the master said, Who then is the trustworthy and wise manager, whom his master shall appoint over his household, to give the portion of food in due season? Blessed is that servant whom his master shall find doing so when he comes. Truly, I say to you, that he shall appoint him over all his possessions. But if that servant says in his heart, My master's delaying in coming, and begins to beat the male servants and female servants, and to eat and drink and be drunk, the master of that servant shall come on a day when he does not expect him, and at an hour that he does not know, and shall cut him in two, and appoint his portion with the unbelievers. And that servant who knew his master's desire and did not prepare, nor did according to his desire, shall be beaten with many stripes. But he who did not know, yet did what deserved flogging, shall be beaten with few. And everyone to whom much is given, from him much shall be demanded, and to whom much has been entrusted, from him much more shall be asked. I came to send fire on earth, and how I wish it were already kindled. But I have an immersion to be immersed with, and how distressed I am until it is accomplished. Do you think that I came to give peace on earth? I say to you, no, but rather division. For from now on, 5 in one house shall be divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. Father shall be divided against son, and son against father, mother against daughter, and daughter against mother, mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And he also said to the crowds, When you see a cloud rising out of the west, immediately you say, A storm's coming. And so it is. And when you see the south wind blow, you say, There shall be hot weather. And it is. Hypocrites, you know how to discern the face of heaven of the earth, but how is it that you do not discern this time? And why also do you not judge for yourselves what is right? For as you go with your opponent to a ruler, try hard along the way to settle with him, lest he drag you to the judge, and the judge deliver you to the officer, and the officer throw you in prison. I say to you, you shall certainly not leave there until you have paid even the last mite. And chapter 13. And some were present at that time, reporting to him about the Galileans, whose blood Pilate had mixed with their offerings. And Yeshua answering said to them, do you think that these Galileans were worse sinners than all the other Galileans because they've suffered like this? I say to you, no. But unless you repent, you shall perish in the same way. Or those 18 on whom the tower in Shiloh fell and killed them, do you think that they were greater offenders than all the other men who dwelt in Jerusalem? I say to you, no. But unless you repent, you all shall perish in the same way. And he spoke this parable. A certain man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard, and he came seeking fruit on it and found none, and said to the gardener, look, for 3 years I've come seeking fruit on this fig tree and find none. Cut it down. Why does it even make the ground useless? And he answering said to him, Master, leave it this year too until I dig around it and throw manure, and if indeed it bears fruit, good. But if not so, you shall cut it down. And he was teaching in one of the congregations on the Sabbath, and see, there was a woman having a weakening spirit for 18 years and was bent over and unable to straighten up at all. And Yeshua, seeing her, called her near and said to her, Woman, you're loosened from your weakness. And he laid his hands on her, and immediately she was straightened up and praised Elohim. But the ruler of the congregation, responding, much displeased that Yeshua had healed on the Sabbath, and said to the crowd, there are 6 days on which men should work, so come and be healed on them, not on the Sabbath day. Then the master answered him and said, Hypocrite! Does not each one of you on the Sabbath loosen his ox or his donkey from the stall and lead it away to water it? And this one, being a daughter of Abraham, whom Satan has bound, look, for 18 years, should she not be loosened from this bond on the Sabbath? And when he said all this, all his opponents were put to shame, and all the crowd rejoiced for all the splendid works being done by him. Therefore he said, what is the reign of Elohim like? And to what shall I compare it? It's like a mustard seed, which a man took and threw in his garden, and it grew and became a large tree. And the birds of the heavens nested in its branches. And again he said, to what shall I compare the reign of Elohim? It's like leaven, which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of flour until it was all leavened. And he was going through the cities and villages, teaching and journeying toward Jerusalem, and someone said to him, Master, are there few who are being saved? And he said to them, strive to enter through the narrow gate, because many, I say to you, shall seek to enter in and shall not be able. When once the master of the house has risen up and shut the door, and you begin to stand outside and knock at the door, saying, Master, Master, open for us, he shall answer and say to you, I do not know you or where you're from. Then you shall begin to say, we ate and drank in your presence, and you taught in our streets. But he shall say, I say to you, I don't know you or where you're from. Depart from me, all you workers of unrighteousness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth when you see Abraham and Yitzhak and Yaakov and all the prophets in the reign of Elohim, and yourselves thrown outside. And they shall come from the east and the west and from the north and the south, and sit down in the reign of Elohim. And see, there are last who shall be first, and there are first who shall be last. On the same day, there came certain Pharisees saying to him, Get out and go from here, for Herodes wishes to kill you. And he said to them, Go say to the fox, See, I cast out demons and perform healings today and tomorrow, and the third day I shall be perfected. But I have to journey today and tomorrow and the day following, because it's not fitting for a prophet to perish outside Jerusalem. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, killing the prophets and stoning those who are sent to her. How often I wish to gather your children together, the way a hen gathers her chickens under her wings. But you would not. See, your house is left to you laid waste. And truly I say to you, you shall by no means see me until the time comes when you say, Blessed is he who is coming in the name of Yahweh.